Good afternoon, sir. Here we are the 5 members of strategy expert. Now we are going to present our presentation about the business of iPhone. So we know iPhone is a smartphone produced by Apple Inc. company. There is the logo of iPhone, and now I'm going to meet with the founder and the CEO of iPhone business. The founder is Steve Jobs. He was the ex-CEO also. He died in 2011. After that, Tim Cook became the new CEO of iPhone. So now I'm going to tell about some basic knowledge about iPhone. Their serving area is worldwide, and their headquarters is California in US, United States, and their operating system is iOS, and their common competitors are Samsung, LG, Nokia, Oppo. Now I'm going to say the 4P of the iPhone business. Their product is innovative, simple to use, stylish, and emotional. And their price is premium price with some differentiation. It's like different models, different prices. And the placement, you can get it in retailers, own stores, and their premium stores and online as well. And their physical evidence is their white earphone lids, bright colors, attractive packaging. My next slide, I'm going to say about the evolution of iPhone. You can see their first invention is in 2007. Steve Jobs released the iPhone, and after 1 year, he released in 3G. So we can see every year they are releasing 1 or 2 models. The recent innovation is iPhone 8 and 10 in 2017. My next slide, I'm going to tell about the annual revenue of the iPhone business. You can see the charts. The iPhone is releasing their annual revenue every year in 4th time, every quarter. So as an example, in 2016, I'm going to tell the quarter 4th revenue is 46.9 billion. So the down is 8.93%, and their expectation was almost same, 46.9 billion. And this year their gross margin was 38%, and the down was 4.76% year to compared to last year. And their expectation was 37.9%. And this year the unit sale was 45.5 million. So my next slide, I'm going to say about the current market share position and the key challenges of the iPhone. According to market share position, iPhone's market position in globally is second, 13.7%, whereas Samsung is in first, 90%. And US position, their first position, and the Samsung is second. And UK position, they go 46%, so they are in first, and Samsung is second, according to 32%. And there got some key challenges of iPhone is shipping and taxing. You know, the problem. And the second one is pricing. The pricing a little bit high. And the third one is China challenge. Last couple of years they are losing the customer in China. And the fourth one is Samsung is their main competitors. Next part is the internal. My friend gonna discuss about this.
So I'm going to the internal internal analysis of iPhone business, and our group undertake the research based on value chain framework. And we look to the primary operational activity that iPhone does to keep themselves ahead of their competitors. According to the iPhone Progress Report 2017, they have trained almost 315,000 workers in their skill training program, whereas none of our competitors does the skill training programs in their supplier side. They're also looking to implement the zero hours policy in their supplier side, and as part of this, there are 15 suppliers who are selected as the zero hours suppliers by the third party audit in 2016. They're also focusing on efficient packaging. They have used 84% less plastic and 60% recycled content in their iPhone 7 than the previous generation iPhones. One of the important aspects that iPhone does for their customers is service. They have 24 hours by 7 one-stop technical service through the live chat and phone call, whereas none of our competitors does the live chat option for their customers. They have secured iCloud operating system where any iOS device user can keep their documents, photos through the iCloud drive, whereas none of our competitors own any drive like Samsung, they use Google Drive, which is owned by Google. And we came up with some of the weakness in the inbound logistics of iPhone. And they have lots of requirements for their suppliers. And in 2015, they made a specification of their iPhone suppliers, and it was according to the Forest Certification Act. So they had to deduct 15 of their suppliers because they didn't maintain the specific requirement provided by the iPhones. And we can see the newly coming companies like Huawei, they are also increasing their market share because they don't really have that much specific requirements for their suppliers. And we also look through the VRIO framework. And according to the Time.com, Varjan, the president of Creative Strategic Incorporation, explains how iPhone is going ahead of their competitors. And he found out that iPhone innovative engineers always create the products that they want it for themselves, and they make the product that is ease of use and keep the value for customers. And by focusing on all the strategic goals, they earn almost 92% of their revenue from the iPhone categories. That's how they are implementing their strategic goals. And I'm passing it to my colleague Talha about external analysis.
So I'll be explaining external analysis through the models PESTLE and Porter's 5 forces. Firstly, through PESTLE, the legal factor is that in China, the minimum wage has risen to $3.60. This is a 64% hike from 2011. This creates a threat and an opportunity. The threat is obviously the cost, the increase in cost. The opportunity is that this is 5 times the minimum wage in India. So this creates an opportunity for Apple to relocate their manufacturing in India and just to simply save costs. The second opportunity is implementing robotics in manufacturers in the factories in China. This would simply reduce costs further, and cost of wages would be to a minimum. Secondly, the political factor is there's expanding operations in India. The iPhone is simply too expensive for consumers in India, especially in emerging markets. The government imposes taxes on products which are manufactured abroad. Therefore, if the company did manufacture products in India, they will be able to reduce the cost and further targeting the gap, and imposing it onto consumers, so they would get the products for cheaper. The final factor is legal, and that's the threat of the Qualcomm lawsuit. Apple infringes 16 patents covering a broad range of smartphone functions, from user interface and battery management to a camera's autofocus. The company wants an exclusion from iPhones or previous models, iPhone X or previous models, which use the rivals Intel modem chips. They want to expand this exclusion from Germany, across the world, starting with China and Germany. As you can see by the graph, it would be detrimental if this exclusion was put into place, as China is the second largest selling area for iPhones. Next I'll go on to talk about Porter's 5 forces. Now, the competitive rivalry is obviously high. The industry growth, as you can see from the chart, is projected to grow each year, and that's up to 2021. The company is in direct competition with the likes of Samsung, Google, Microsoft, Oppo and Sony. And they also do fall short in terms of pricing. Other companies can offer lower prices, and consumers in such as emerging markets will tend to go for the lower price. The second point is bargaining powers of suppliers. Suppliers do have a low bargaining power. Apple is free to choose but from a large number of suppliers from a number of different countries, some of which are just here, which is Brazil, China, US, Mexico, Taiwan, Japan. However, the products aren't developed by a single manufacturer or single supplier. Each component is manufactured in a different factory. Therefore, the majority of sales from a factory would be from Apple, placing a lot of power into their hands. One example of the competitiveness of the market would be iPhone City. Now, this is a city in, forgive me for my pronunciation, Zhengzhou, which produces 500,000 iPhones per day and inhabits 6 million people. My next point is the bargaining powers of suppliers. This is medium. The fact that there are a range of models to choose from. And in emerging economies, as I said before, consumers will trend to go for low cost, which is why, as you can see up here, in India, iPhone is not within the top 5 of most sold devices. Threat of new entrants. New entrants are present in the market, as demonstrated in China with Huawei, Lenovo, and Xiaomi. The table shows the market share and from the previous year, and you have to bear in mind these companies are in fact quite recent. However, there are high cost barriers to the market. First is research and development, and the second one is implementing an effective branding strategy. Finally, the threat of substitutes. In terms of substitutes of other products, that's kind of weak. For example, if you're going to use a digital camera, it has limited function, so you wouldn't tend to go to that necessarily. In terms of substitutes of different iPhones, that is quite high, and that's because obviously of the low cost. Apple only possesses brand loyalty in Western countries, as other factors such as cost switches comes into effect in these areas. And I'll pass you over to John.
Next, I will present the strategy issues and strategy position. And first is the strategic issues. It's come to the price strategy issues. We focus on the UK market, and which the UK market inflation rate keep raising 2.9% in August 2018 by the research, but the average salary growth is around £500 per week in last 2 years. That's quite low. However, the price of the iPhone is keeping going up within last few years. Actually, it's last 10 years. The newest one, iPhone 10, is cost £999. And we understand iPhone used to target the high price market, but they still have some product to focus on the reflective lower price market, such as iPhone SE, iPhone 5C. As I think the iPhone 8 is still a part of that plan, because the iPhone 10 and iPhone 8 issued together in one single day, but the date is different. But the selling date is different. And as iPhone 10 is already so attractive and evaluation and a new step of the iPhone series, why the iPhone 8 exists. As I consider that the iPhone 8 is a smart move. What if the iPhone 10 come out to the market and not such welcome and not such attractive for the by the customers? Still, there's some. Let's move on to the next slide about product growth strategy issue. Which first is iPhone don't understand the customers anymore. The delayed delivery and back ordered happened again and again from iPhone 6, and the shipment is so weak. As we can see in the picture, is market share of different selling product, and we can see that the highest selling happens when around the iPhone issue date or the iPhone selling date. So around the selling date, so the delay and the back order that give chance for the competitors to issue their new product or just selling their new product, and also give time to customers to choose new brands, or they don't have such good expectation about the new iPhone. Yeah, and another point is building apps and functions are ignored by Apple. Especially 3D Touch. It comes out to the market 2 years, but still a lot of customers don't know they have this function. Of course, the building apps is not such useful, especially the iMessage and FaceTime numbers pages, the building to the iPhone before, but that are all good functional apps. But the problem is, Apple didn't even promote it much such more, so customers prefer to choose third parties. That also gives the third party apps a chance to grow their profit. And let's move on to the next slide. Is product differentiation strategy issue. First problem is current products are similar from iPhone 6 to iPhone 8. Actually, the external, the outlooking is quite similar and function is quite similar. But iPhone 10 did make difference, but that's far away enough. Even the Face ID shakes the world again. And the next one is competitors are one step before iPhone in some area, especially the full screen idea. It was come out by Chinese company Xiaomi, pushed out to the world first. And as we can see in the picture, the iPhone is losing market share in some areas, especially in Greater China area. From 2015, the market share fall by 7%. That's because lots of local companies become more stronger and they development a lot. And let's move on to the strategy position. The strengths. Let's go into the current strategy position using SWT analysis. And first we come to strengths. The market position. As iPhone's market share is keeping going down, but it still stands second of the smartphone mountain. It's 13.7% of the market share. And the second one is brand force. iPhone still have a big influence to the market, to the smartphone market. And another one is iOS and ecosystem. As we know, iPhone can connect to or link to other Apple products. So it's raised the cost for customers to change their product. The weakness is the iPhone's price is keeping going higher, and the variety is not such good because they just push out one or two phones per year. That's far away from Android's team. And the opportunities, iPhone still have technology advantage over the whole market. That's the main competitive advantage over the whole market. Especially we can see the iPhone 10, the Face ID that shakes the world. And the stress, the Android team is covers a quite large market share. It's 86.2% of the market share. And the Samsung and other competitors are keeping pushing their products, and still the iPhone's limitation of their product series may change. And the other point is lack of innovation from iPhone 6, and the last but not least, the high cost of iPhone. And I think that because of the labor of the manufacturer is keeping raising higher and higher. Okay, let's welcome the next presenter.
Okay, so I'll be talking about the new business strategy. So the strategy I've chosen is market development, so which would be manufacturing in India. So the recommended strategy idea chosen is basically manufacturing all types of iPhones in India. As India already do a few, but this would be all. So the Indian government, they levy tariffs on devices which are manufactured outside the country. So if Apple were to manufacture in India, it would ideally reduce costs. It would be ideally much cheaper, and it would save money on importing the iPhones to India. So this would be. So this would be suitable.
Okay, guys, sorry, I'm going to have to stop you there. We're at